So when I used to work as a Salesforce developer, I could win actually a couple of hours per day back by being smart with my time. Yes, on paper, you have to work as a developer 8 hours a day, right? But the true reality of this work is that you can work less if you manage to give the same output. People don't care how much you work. Like, really, you can work 8 hours, you can work 5 hours, you can work 3 hours as soon as you give the output that the company wants. But the very few people actually block a time for thinking, right? So what you can do is you can go here and let's say I just took an empty calendar. So let's say here you have a meeting, right? So let's say you have here something like daily stand up, right? You know that after daily stand up, you want to have a little bit of break. So just say break. And here's the thing, you're probably watching it and like, that's obvious. Well, how many people do that? Like, that's obvious. Yeah, but like doing it, that's kind of a lot of people actually kind of slip. Okay, so you basically block like this your time, and then you block a time for deep work. And like this, you color block everything. So break will be green, daily stand up. I used to do something like this, blubbery. Then deep work like this. Then let's say you have another client meeting, and the client meeting would be blubbery again because all the meetings are like this. And then maybe you have lunch at 11. I don't know, maybe you do, maybe not, right? So like this, you color code the whole calendar, and that helps you visually see how much time you spend on all of this. Another life hack that you can do, you can download your whole calendar. If that's Google Calendar, I'm not so sure about the Outlook. So you can download your whole calendar, you can put it into the ChatGPT and let it analyze. And you will be surprised by how many discoveries you're going to see about your life, how many hours you spent on whatever. And here's the thing. In most cases, you don't know where you spend most of your time. That's true. Like if I tell to you, okay, go back 5 days ago, what were you doing? How many hours did you spend on actual work versus watching YouTube videos like this, right? So it's a big mystery for me how a lot of people can live lives not really knowing where the time is being spent. And for that, what I used is Rise. Rise, so just heads up, it's a paid tool, right? I don't have any affiliation. I've been using it for almost 2 years, and I am super happy with it. So what it gives you, it analyzes automatically everything that you're doing on your laptop, and you can see, for example, here today I already spent 37 minutes on the YouTube, which is kind of a lot, right? And you can go like this week by month, right? So you can go to the year and you can see your whole analytics. It's loading a little bit, so it's probably going to take a bit. But the point is that it allows you to see everything that you're doing. And okay, let's go to month, right? Okay, so we can. Okay, you just saw. Okay, so this month, obviously the month just started, only 13 hours, right? So you can see everything here, productivity. And then the way I like using it is that I go here to timer and I start focus for 60 minutes. When you start focus, you can put here a project tag. So for example, you're working on, let's say you're working on marketing course. That's it. That's the only thing that is enough for Rise to basically track and put this time that you've been working on the marketing course. And all the meetings that you have, if I had here some meetings, they would automatically just kickstart. So I don't need to put a timer there. It will automatically see that it's a meeting, and that's going to put the meeting into a certain category, and you can configure those categories. So you don't need to think about, where do I spend my time? And it's connected to the calendar, right? So you connect it to the calendar, and all the meetings on the calendar is going to be. So basically, this is like a system that works together. So this whole thing, it basically those two things it tackles with when and kind of what, right? So it tackles those two things. Now, another thing that a lot of people actually leave out is that during your work life, you have to keep a lot of details in your mind. So, for example, you had a meeting with a client, like, again, 6 days ago, 7 days ago, right? It's kind of hard to recall what's going on there. So what I used to do is I used to have a project folder in Notion, right? So here's how it looks like. So I have here my tasks that I need to solve today, or some of them were yesterday, and then I have projects here. So for example, create trigger handlers, right? It's not much here, but if I work at something at like real project, then I would put here a day, and for example, it's 5th, or is it 6th already? Okay, oh my god, 2024, and I would write here, I met with John. He suggested we implement batch instead of integration. Whatever, it doesn't mean much, right? But a short summary of what's going on in the project, and let's say this will be a project, I don't know, let's say Nutella company, right? So you just put basically like a time log of what's going on from your perspective in the project, so that you can go back easily and you can see, okay, this was approximately when we started, how long it's been going, what's going on there, and all that. And the best part about Notion is that everything is saved in Notion, right? So I have here still entries from, I don't know, like 2 years, 3 years ago. So I can go back, and if someone asks me about something about a project that was 3 years ago, I can still recall it. I can even recall technical details because I have them here. I don't have them in my mind, right? I didn't memorize them. I don't remember what was there, but I remember some architectural decisions that were made. I remember some unexpected thing that has happened. I remember everything, like odd stuff that was going on there, and I can recall it. I don't need to basically go and implement it again. And at some point, so here I can show you. At some point, you can develop something similar to this one, right? So you can develop something like a database of knowledge, and that's very helpful because imagine the amount of knowledge you need, and all of this you're collecting during your work life. And imagine if you start collecting now, how much knowledge you're gonna have in like 2 years or 3 years. Insane amount. And this is what a lot of people don't do. So a lot of people don't structure their time, and a lot of people don't take enough of deep work in the calendar, and people also don't write things down. And I have no idea why. And I used to do it, and it worked insanely well. So I hope you're gonna like it, and I hope you're gonna take something out of all of this productivity madness that I have. Right?